Hello, uh, my name is Christina, and I welcome to my home. I remember when I was so down that I would go to YouTube and just punch in something like encouragement, hope, don't quit, comfort, those kind of search words to try to find something to lift me up. And sometimes when I was in that state, I would think, like, God is so far away. I can't hear him. I don't know if he cares. I mean, yeah, sometimes you just don't hear a thing. Even when you're praying, you just feel like you, it's bouncing off the walls, and you don't have anyone else to comfort you. That's happened to me before, and that's why I was punching those things into YouTube, because I didn't even have friends near. So maybe you're going through something like that. And I just want to share a word of comfort and hope. Behind me, you'll see a picture of Jesus on the cross, Jesus suffering the crucifixion. And there is nothing that gives more hope than that, because what Jesus did on the cross showed the greatest love of all. How is that comfort for us? Like, how does Jesus' suffering even matter? Like, didn't he just die? He died an awful death, didn't he? Yes, he did suffer, just like us. As a matter of fact, why this gives me hope is because God was not willing for us to just suffer on our own. He left heaven, he came down, became human like us with feelings, and he went to the cross, bearing our sin, our shame, and he took on all our suffering, which meant that when he was hanging there on the cross, he was feeling exactly what you're going through right now. He was actually feeling it with you and for you. And so you can know that you're never alone in your suffering, because he was there with you, whether you can feel it or not. The other thing is, sometimes why we lose hope is because we think, well, nothing good can come out of this. Is this any meaning at all to this suffering, this injustice? And when you look at the cross, and you look at Jesus enduring the worst tragedy and injustice in the world, he was innocent and he suffered all of this torture, physically, emotionally, mentally, and yeah, in his heart, he was bearing all the rejection and betrayal and hopelessness and bitterness of the world on himself. And God was able to take this tragic, terrible injustice, this atrocity, and turn it for good. And if he can do that with this kind of suffering, when this kind of injustice, because Jesus was innocent, then he can do that for you. And you can know from this that no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. And Jesus understands, because he suffered with you and he suffers for you. And he has redeemed. He said he redeemed all the suffering to bring healing to you. And so you can have hope for healing. And if God can turn this worst tragedy for something good, then he can turn whatever's happening to you for something good. Because he promises that no matter what, in all things, that's all, everything, in all things, God works together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So he does have a purpose for you. And he can redeem the suffering for something far greater and good, more wonderful than you can ever imagine. Might not be right away, but just wait for it, because Jesus showed us by his resurrection after the cross that he can do that. He can redeem the worst things for something good. So I hope that encourages you and helps you to have